And hello there. We'd like to welcome you into the Philly and Fred show for Tuesday, March 9th, 2026. We're going to discuss some NFL things today, some trades, and some NBA things. The first thing we're going to discuss in the NFL is what we think the NFC South rankings are next year. What do you think the NFC South looks like next year, Philly?
Yeah, the NFC South rankings for me is going to start off with number four, Tampa Bay Bucks. I just think they're getting older, and each year they're usually always riddled with injuries. As of today, they traded away Mike Evans, so then on the outside as well. So give me Bucks at four. Three, I'll go Panthers. You had a heck of a 2025 season, but I don't think eight and nine is gonna cut it next year. I don't believe in this, even though it's the worst division in my opinion. You're gonna have to improve on that front, and you just traded away Rico Dowdle as well, so the running back position's thin as well. Two, I had the Saints here earlier today. I'm gonna switch it to the Falcons now. I don't love the Tua pickup. He's just, I don't know if he's a starting quarterback in my opinion. I do love the roster, but obviously the QB is the most important position. Got two lefty quarterbacks, which will be interesting. They might switch around him and Penix. So I'll go two Falcons and then one. Give me the Saints to win this division. I love what I saw from Tyler Shuck last year. You probably move away from Kamara. I think in the draft, you get some defensive pieces, but you got Shuck and Olave on the outside, and I think they're going to surprise some people next year.
Yeah, my NFC South rankings are the exact same. I got Bucks at four. Like you said, they weren't great last year. They sucked last year, and they didn't get any better. They got worse probably. Panthers at three. I mean, Bryce Young, you don't really. He's not consistent. Them as a team's not consistent. They're not overloaded with talent unless they do something crazy in free agency or the draft. I don't see them getting a whole ton better. Falcons at two. I mean, what do we? One guy's had 7 of his last 8 years season-ending injuries, and then the other quarterback you've had's had 10 concussions in the NFL alone. So I really don't know what they're thinking. I guess he's cheap, and then won the Saints. I mean, they got the probably the best quarterback in the division, I think, going into next year. They got some young talent, and I think they're going to do some good things in the draft. And yeah, that's I have the same rankings as well. Yeah, I did not understand the Tua. Like I said, I mean, I guess you're doing the thing where you're picking him up like the Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, I guess, picking him up for 1 point whatever because the other team's paying him. But there's other guys I think I would have went with before Tua, especially when your other quarterback has injury problems. They better
Yeah.
have that third QB ready to go. That's all I know. He better be dressed and ready to go every day because with those two guys behind QB, it's very likely that there will be a game this season that the third stringer has to start. All
Yeah,
righty.
that's a good point.
Yeah. He's going to get some reps this year. That might be an over under we do before the season starts. And how many games does the third string quarterback for the Falcons have? So we'll get there, or we'll do that when we get there. Next, staying in the NFL, Philly, who were your most disappointing teams from last year?
Yeah, for me, it was really just one team on my list. I'm gonna go to Kansas City Chiefs. You've been to the Super Bowl 2 of the last 3 years, and Mahomes just didn't really look like himself for most of the year. Defense didn't look great, and you just digressed throughout the season. And I don't want to hear, Mahomes was hurt. He got hurt. I want to say week 14, week 15. So you had him for most of the year. You wasn't winning the one score games that you were accustomed to winning the prior few years. So we was just waiting on the Chiefs to kind of turn that season around, and it just really never happened as of last year. So for me, the Chiefs was really like my only disappointing team. Well, I'm sorry. I'm gonna give the Ravens to slightly. I know, but at the same time, Lamar, he wasn't fully healthy for most of the season. That defense was pretty bad to start off the season though, so they kind of put put the Ravens behind pretty early with just allowing a lot of points to begin the season. So I'll go Chiefs and Ravens.
Yeah, my most disappointing teams from last year in the NFL are Lions, Ravens. I'm going to start with the Ravens. Yeah, Lamar did get hurt, but I think they were 1-2, about to go to 1-3 when he got hurt. I mean, you lost the game when you were up against the Bills, and then you did the same thing against the Steelers and the Patriots. Like, I mean, yeah, you could say what you want, but the defense was horrible. I mean, they looked great the first 3 quarters against the Bills, and the wheels fell apart. We'll see what Minter does. And the Lions second. I mean, 12-5 NFC Championship game appearance, and then 15-2. I expected them to maybe take the next step, but they took a massive step back. They got guys retiring. It possibly feels like they missed their window, but they still got the coach. They still got a quarterback. They still got some good players. So I think both teams will be back this year in the playoffs and making some noise. All righty, Philly. Next, we're going to go to who are your most surprising teams outside the Patriots and the Seahawks last year?
Yeah, my most surprising teams, and this probably sounds a little stupid, but I'm gonna go the Colts. They started off 8-1, I want to say, to start the season, and I know they lost their last 8 or 9 games, but just the way they started off the season, I don't think that was on a lot of people's bingo cards. Jonathan Taylor and Daniel Jones was both in the MVP running throughout all of those weeks, and then of course Daniel Jones goes down, which is the reason they ultimately ended up finishing 8-9. But just, I mean, this would have been a playoff team, possibly a 12 win team, which I wouldn't have saw coming into the season. And it just hurt when Daniel Jones went down. But I mean, honestly, like I was big on the Jags this or coming into the season. I was big on the Jags, was big on the Patriots. So those wasn't huge surprises for me. I thought they would get over the win total and be a little improved. I didn't see the Patriots going to the Super Bowl, but yeah, for me the Colts was pretty surprising.
Yeah, my most surprising teams outside the Patriots and Seahawks last year were the Bears and the Rams. I mean, the Bears for multiple seasons in a row, it felt like we're going to be good this year. Like, and it was kind of the same thing over and over and over again. And it was like, oh, it's going to be the same thing again. And then they got Ben Johnson in there, and it just looked different. They won a lot of close games. I don't know how good they're going to be next year, but I mean, last year was probably a crazy ride. 11-6, NFC divisional game, lost a heartbreaker. And the other one was the Rams because, I mean, if you look at them now, like midway through the season, it's like, yeah, they were obviously good. But people didn't even know if Matthew Stafford was going to play next year because he had that back injury, and people didn't know if he was going to start the season or how long it was going to take. So, I mean, when you don't know if your Hall of Fame quarterback is going to play, that was a surprise that he played from week one and that well last year. So that's my two surprising teams from last year. That's it for the NFL part of the show. Next, we're going to get to the NBA part of the show. We're going to start off with start, bench, cut. Philly, who you starting, who you benching, who you cutting in the freak bigs department between Shaq, Wilt, and Giannis. Pause, by the way, but continue.
Start, bench, cut, the freak bigs. Almost start off with Shaq. I think he played in possibly the most physical era of all time, that 90s era, and the fact that he was so dominant in that time span, won a few championships. I think that was very impressive. He broke a lot of backboards while he did it. So I think Shaq in that era, maybe one of the most dominant players we've ever seen. I'm gonna start Shaq. I'm gonna bench Wilt. I think he played in an era where there wasn't a lot of great players, but I mean, he averaged over 30 points, over 20 rebounds in his career, had a 100-point game. So I'll bench Wilt, and then I'll cut Giannis. What Giannis has done to transform his game in his career has been flat out amazing. Developing a slight jump shot, but I just think Shaq and Will, they've just been dominant. Giannis, he has been in this era for a while. So, but yeah, I think Shaq and Will just a tad better.
Fair enough. Between Shaq, Wilt, and Giannis, I'm going to cut Wilt. I know he scored 100 points, but I mean, I don't know if he did. There's no evidence of that. Hilariously, there's pictures and videos way before that, but they said he did. I mean, he was one of the most dominant people ever, but I'm going to cut him. I'm going to bench Giannis. I mean, Giannis, unbelievable. I mean, he's got a lot for a guy that's 7 foot, as strong as he is. The ability to handle the rock the way he does. the power of which he plays with. I mean, he's basically just Shaq if Shaq played now because he's big, strong, fast, athletic, but now he can play outside and he's turned into a really good passer. And he had a 50-point game and a closeout game in the finals. So, I mean, he's awesome. And then Shaq's a starter. I mean, most dominant player of all time, top 10 player of all time. I mean, was unbelievable in regular seasons and in the playoffs and all their runs with the Lakers. Had a couple good ones with the Heat and in Orlando. I mean, he did it all. Guy was the most dominant player ever. So that's I'm going to start Shaq. All righty, next one. Who are you taking? Well, who you starting? Who you benching? Who you cutting? Off the dribble shooters. Steph, Dame, or Harden.
Yep, start bench cut with the off dribble shooters. This is gonna surprise some people. I'm gonna start James Harden. I think he had maybe one of the best signature moves of all time with his little shimmy shake, step back. I think when he was on the Rockets, I mean, literally nobody could stop that. So I'll start Harden. I'm gonna bench Dame. I think his step back that he hit for multiple game winners in the playoffs, in the regular season, you name it. Dame off the dribble, pretty lethal. And then I'm gonna cut Steph. It's obviously gonna surprise a lot of people. But I think Steph, obviously the best shooter of all time. I think he was just as good, probably better on the catch and shoot than he was off the dribble. Him just squaring up his shoulders, off screens. I think he's a better spot up shooter than he is off the dribble. So
All righty. Start bench cut between Steph, Dame, and Harden. Okay, we'll redo that. I mean, who I'm starting, who I'm benching, off the dribble shooters between Steph, Dame, and Harden. I'm going to cut Dame, and it sucks because Dame's awesome. I don't think he gets the respect he deserves with being a guy that could shoot off the dribble the way he could and shoot at the range he could because he was doing it just as good, if not better, than Steph when Steph was rolling. But Steph obviously had the finals MVPs and that stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna bench or cut Dame. I'm gonna bench Steph. I mean, all time great. Obviously, like you said, I think he's a better off the catch shooter, but still probably I think the second best off the dribble shooter of all time. And I'm gonna start Harden. I mean, they literally played James Harden. He was so good at the step back jump shot that they played. There was games where they played behind him. They would let him dribble forward, and they played directly behind him because he was that good at shooting off the dribble with the step back. And he really changed the game when it comes to shooting off the dribble. Like he did it differently than anybody. A lot of people use his moves now, and they call it a walk back in the day, but now everyone uses it. So yeah, I'm going to start Harden there. Alrighty, last start bench cut. Between the rookies, Dylan Harper, Con Knipple, or Cooper Flag? Philly.
yeah, start bench cut with the rookies. I'm gonna go ahead and start Cooper Flag. We've seen his all around game in the NBA. Has really done everything for this Mavericks team throughout this whole entire season, whether it's scoring, passing, rebounding. He's doing it all. So I'll start Coop. I'll bench Con Knipple. I think this is honestly one of the probably highest IQ rookies I've ever seen. He always knows where to be on the floor, has one of the most deadliest shots I've seen from a rookie in their rookie season. I love his all around game. And then I'll bench Dylan Harper. I think if Harper was on a team like the Mavs or the Hornets, then he could possibly be in that bench role. But I mean, he plays on the Spurs with a lot of athletic guards. He's on a very good team. They're actually second in the West. But I think Dylan Harper, if he's a second option or third option, I think he'll be in that All Star caliber player. So
Alrighty, between Dylan Harper, Con Knipple, or Cooper Flag, I'm going to cut Dylan Harper, and he's a heck of a player. I actually really like him. Really good defender, athletic, can score the hoop. The three's down a little bit. It's under 30%, but like we've seen other people, you can improve that. I'm going to bench Con Knipple. I mean, he is so awesome to watch. He's got the jump shot, and if you play him close, he can take you to the basket. He's got a great in between game. He's got great touch. I mean, I think he's going to be a really good scorer and a really good player for a long time. And I feel like he's kind of changed the Hornets, along with some other people, but he's been a big part in that. And like you said, I'm going to start Cooper Flag. I think Cooper Flag can do it all, and I think he's going to be a top 5 player here soon. He could score it. He's athletic. He could finish at the rim. The shooting stroke is improving. He could play defense. He can rebound. He's becoming a better playmaker. I think he just really does it all. So, yeah, I'm going to start Cooper Flag. Alrighty, that's it for start bench cut. Next, we're going to move on to who we think the top 5 guards in the NBA are right now. Philly, you go first.
Yep, my top five guards start off at five. Kate Cunningham, one of the best passers in all of the NBA, can also score at all three levels, and he's really just carried this Pistons team the last couple years. So I'll go Kate at five. Four, I'll go D Mitch. I think he's been pretty consistent throughout his whole career. I think he should have won Rookie of the Year when he was a rookie. Topic for another this day. I mean, he's been top 15 scorer every season since he's been in the NBA, other than his rookie year. Three, I'll go Ant, a guy I think could possibly be the face of the NBA in the next 3 or 4 years. Can score, can defend, and he's really shaping out to be just a fantastic player. Almost averaging 30 points this season. Two, I'll go Luca. I mean, we've never seen. He just has a different bag. Luca does, and I feel like if he could defend, I think Luca would definitely be a MVP caliber player. But until he's able to defend, um, he'll be out of that top one for me. Because I mean, he can do everything on the offensive end. Score, has one of the best just IQs, can pass the ball, rebound, really do everything. And then one, I'll go SGA. Guy we just saw win the MVP, might win back-to-back MVPs. We've really saw him perfect his offensive game, can score anywhere on the floor, has that mid-range game on lock, and can also defend the ball. So SGA will round out my top five best guards in the league.
Alrighty, my list of top 5 guards in the NBA right now. I'm going to start out with 5 with D Mitch. I mean, he's just explosive. Guy's a great scorer. He can get to the rim when he wants to, but he's really improved that jump shot. Now he's a really good 3-point shooter off the catch and off the dribble. 4K. I mean, he's at 25 points a game plus, and he's turned into a heck of a playmaker. I think he's got a chance to put himself in the top 3 here soon, if not this year, if he can do something in the playoffs. 3, Luca. Like you said, offensively, I mean, got one of the biggest bags of all time. But I've soured on Luca just because of the defense and the complaining, and he's hurt his team multiple times with the complaining. So I'm gonna have him at 3. I got Ant at 2. I think Ant's gonna take that step this year. I think he really is. He's really worked on his post game. He's always been an explosive scorer. He can now shoot the 3. I mean, impressively good. So like, yeah, I think he's an animal. He can get to the rim. He can shoot the 3. He can score in between. He's added somewhat of a post game. So I got him at 2, and I got SG at 1. Like you said, MVP last year, won the finals. I mean, you win the finals and you win MVP. I don't think you could say there's a guard better than him. Great score, got the mid range, got great touch, great feet work. He is my number 1 guard going well at this year at the moment. Next, true or false? First one, true or false? Draymond's on bullshit, and that's true. I was watching the game the other day, and they were playing the Rockets, and he just tripped Jabari. He just grabbed Jabari Smith's ankle right in front of the ref, like he wasn't going to see him. And like Jabari Smith didn't even get mad. He just looked at the official like, "What is he like? What is this dude doing?" I mean, and he's done this his whole career, where he just, I mean, he stepped on people, he's kicked people in the testicles. I mean, and I don't know, like, and at this point, with how many times he's done it, they know they're looking at him closer. I don't. He's just always on bullshit. I don't think he's ever going to stop. I thought it would get better. It hasn't. I don't think it ever will get better. But what are your thoughts on it, Phil?
Yeah, true. Draymond's on bullshit. He's always been on bullshit. And he's probably had the most like what the F moments, just doing dumb stuff, man. And I think he just needs to stick to his pods and probably just go ahead and retire because I mean, I think at this point he's just looking to start something with somebody. And I know it's funny, we was talking about it right after it happened with the Jabari Smith thing. Yeah,
Oh, what he's
it's
doing.
it's comedy, man. So yeah,
Yeah, and I
I want
respect him. Man. He's great. He's all timer. I mean,
to.
I think he is an important piece in that Warriors dynasty. But I mean, just the nonsense. And now he's not playing good, so you can't
Mm-hmm.
really be doing the nonsense when you're not playing well. So yeah,
Right.
it's he just be on nonsense a lot. Next, true or false? True or false? You go first on this one, Philly. True or false? The Celtics are the favorites in the East with Tatum's return by a wide margin.
This is tough. So I'm gonna go true on one part. I'm gonna go false, but I will say true on the first part. I do think they should be the favorite with Tatum coming back, but I don't think it's necessarily by a wide margin. But I think there's only really one team that's competing with them, and I think that's the Cavaliers. I know they just beat them by 11. That was without a Jared Allen, so I think Cavs that is a team that can challenge them in a series, possibly beat them. But yeah, to your point though, with Tatum coming back, we saw him be dominant in the minutes that he's played, and yeah, I mean he really does look healthy. He's not really lingering with that Achilles, and just what we saw with Jalen Brown, Pritchard, and those guys step up this whole season without him out, and now they have one of the best players in the NBA coming back at the right time. I think the Celtics team is definitely going to be scary coming down the stretch, and I think they should be the lead favorite, but not by a wide margin in the East.
Yeah, I'm going true. I think the Celtics are the favorites in the East by a wide margin just because, like you said, I mean, Tatum came back. It looks like he fit right in. There's no like drama going on. It looked like he was perfect for the offense. Everyone's still getting their own. They're beat. I mean, they're 2-0. They beat the Cavs, a team they're going to play in the playoffs. They got the most playoff pedigree in the East by a wide margin. And and now he's got, I think, 15 to 20 games left and then a pretty easy first round playoff series. I mean, he's going to have a month plus to really get back into the flow of things and become the guy not the guy he was, but somewhat of the guy he was. The only thing that scares me a little bit about Tatum is like he's not lingering when he runs or does anything or plays defense, but like jumping a couple of times, he's not looked like he's had the explosiveness, and I think that's
Yeah.
which I'm not going to speak for him, but it might be a mental thing more than a physical thing. So we'll see how that goes. Next, true or false? True or false? Steph dragging the 2022 Warriors to the championship was the greatest dragging of a team to a title all time.
Yeah, Steph dragging that 2022 team to a championship. I'm gonna go true. I mean, if you look at that roster and where those guys are at now, there's some guys really just haven't even found a role on other teams or even on that Warriors team currently. But it was truly amazing what he did. I know Andrew Wiggins was an All Star that season. Klay Thompson wasn't the guy that he was early in his career. Same thing you could say about Draymond, but yeah, if you look at the roster, they had no business beating that Celtics team, and it just shows you how good of a player Steph is by just carrying that team to the championship, winning the championship when we thought that Warriors dynasty was pretty much over. So I think that's got to be true for me.
Yeah, I'm also going to go true. I think Steph dragging that 2022 team to the championship and winning it was the greatest dragging of a team because that. I mean, like you said, look at that team. A lot of those guys don't even play at all in the NBA. A lot of them are DNPs, and then I mean, Clay wasn't himself. I mean, that was really the starting. That's why they got rid of him. And Draymond, if you go back and look at that finals, that was one of the worst playoff series Draymond's ever played in. I mean, Otto Porter would beat me 24-0 in basketball. But when it comes to NBA, he was playing significant minutes on that team. And like you said, Andrew Wiggins was an all-star with Steph, but what was Andrew Wiggins since then? I mean, just a trade piece to get some cap space off and so yeah, I think it was. I mean, and then you look at not only the team in general, but them playing that Celtics team who was loaded with talent. I mean, yeah, I think that was probably the greatest dragging of a team ever to win a championship. Uh, True or false? The next true or false? The Knicks are not going to make the conference title, and they're going to blow it up. You go first, Phil.
Yeah, I'm gonna go true. The Knicks are not going to the conference finals, and they're gonna blow it all up. Yeah, we first off, we've already discussed this. I don't know why the Knicks moved away from Tom Thibodeau. There's questions about him playing the starters too many minutes and all that. But I mean, you get to the conference finals and you fire your coach. It's like your next coach. You're expecting literally them to make the finals. Is basically what you're telling me. And just you haven't seen any consistency from this Knicks team this year. I thought after they won the NBA Cup, I'm like, this team looks connected. They look good on both sides of the ball, but really ever since then, that has not been the case. So I don't see them getting through the conference finals. And then there's guys like Bridges and Anobi. I mean, I don't think they're going to play both of them. And Cat, that could be a guy that ends up moving away as well. So, yeah, I'm going to go true. Knicks blow it up after this year.
Yeah, I'm going to go true too. I think the Knicks lose early, and I think they blow it up. And the first point of the whole thing, I think, is I mean, it's rare for a small guard to lead a team to a championship. And you got basically Steph, and if you want to put Isaiah Thomas in there, Isaiah Thomas, but that team was really good. But I mean, there's not a lot of small guys that have led their teams to championships being the guy, being the for sure number one option. And then you have that issue. I mean, Hart, he plays tough. I'll give him that. He's a good defender, great rebounder for his size, but I mean, he's limited on offense. Cat, I mean, he shoots more threes than any 7-footer I've ever seen. I think he's a great driver and he's great in the post, but he just stays outside way too much. I mean, Anunoby's a solid player, but like, yeah. And then this is the year. If you don't win it this year, it's over because Halliburton's coming back. They're going to be better. And then the Celtics, Tatum's going to be fully healthy. So, like, yeah, I don't think they're going to win this year. So I think since they don't win, they're going to blow it up. So, yeah, I had the same thought. All right, that's it for true or false. Next, I've seen this discussion before on Twitter and other places, but we're going to do it here. Philly, would you rather get beat close in the playoffs or get blown out?
I'm going to say beat close. Like, I understand, like, it's it sucks. It sucks when you lose close in the playoffs, but I'd rather look back and point out things that we could have done differently to win that game to rather just getting blown out and okay, you never really even had a chance. So yeah, I gotta say getting beat close, even though like I said, it sucks. It truly does. My team just got beat close um in our last playoff game. So yeah, I'd rather get beat close. How about you, Fred?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'd much rather get beaten close than blown out in the playoffs just because it's fun. Like, I know it sucks after, but dude, when you play close games in the playoffs, it's exciting. And I'm a Steelers fan, so I know how it feels to get blown out because we've gotten blown out 7 straight years in a row. And I'd much rather take getting beat close, having some terms of excitement for the game. And all right, maybe we mess up one play or two plays, but it was fun while it lasted. So yeah, I don't
Yeah.
understand people that say like, "Oh, I'd rather get blown out." I mean, no fun from the start of the game. So yeah, I've never understood that. So yeah, I'm saying way get beat close. Alrighty, next one. Get beat in the first round of the playoffs or miss the playoffs completely or lose in your team's championship.
This is funny that you say that because I know you're a Steelers fan and mainly just arguing with Terry. I used to always say I'd rather I'd rather miss the playoffs than lose in the first round every year. So I guess I'll stick to that motto. Like, but I see both sides of it. If you go to the playoffs and lose every year in the first round, okay, at least you made the playoffs. You have something to be excited about. You're not too terrible, but you're not crazy good. But it's like, okay, if I'm gonna go to the first round, like I'd rather win something than so I've always said I'd rather miss the playoffs than lose every year first round. So I'll stick with it.
Yeah, when it comes to me, I would much rather lose in the championship than not make it at all or lose early. And like I said, I'm a Steelers fan, so I know exactly how this feels to lose in AFC championship games or Super Bowls and to lose every year in the first round. And I'd much rather have the heartbreak, but at least the fun of making it, getting close and losing. And I know it's heartbreaking to get that close and losing, but as a fan, I mean, it's filled with excited moments and there's really things to look back on. But it's more heartbreaking, I think, to lose that way. But in the end, you can look back and always look back at some great games your team's had, win or lose. So yeah, that's my thinking on that. And the last thing we're gonna do, uh, what's there a better chance of? The Ravens don't win a playoff game, or the Ravens make the Super Bowl. And I'm gonna go the Ravens make the Super Bowl because I think that they're really Minter's there. I think he's gonna really shore up the defense, and I think Lamar's gonna finally have his playoff breakthrough. I think it's gonna finally happen. He's gonna get in there. He's gonna play well. He's really gonna break through, and I think he's gonna have I think it's gonna be one of them years where he doesn't play MVP level in the regular season, and then everybody's hating on him playoff time. But I think he goes in the playoffs, shows everybody what he's made of, and I think him and Derrick Henry make the Super Bowl next year. So I think it's a better chance they make the Super Bowl compared to not win a playoff game. What do you think, Philly?
Yeah, I agree. I think the Ravens are more likely to go to the Super Bowl than have a playoff loss. So, yeah, I think at some point it's just got to give where Lamar just has a good playoff run, and as a arguably a top three quarterback in the entire NFL, you've got to think with possibly a new offense, get some offseason acquisitions, then I think the Ravens they'll be right at the top of the AFC next year, and um, yeah, they'll have a good chance of going to the Super Bowl. So I'll agree with you there.
All righty, next team. What's there a better chance of? The Chiefs. Well, we'll restart that. What's the better chance you think for the Chiefs that they don't make it to the playoffs or they win a Super Bowl? And I think it's that they don't make it to the playoffs. You gave up one of your best players on defense. Chris Jones is getting older. Kelsey looked old and slow last year. He's getting older. Mahomes is coming off an injury. Like Rashid Rice hasn't really turned into the player you thought he was going to be. Xavier Worthy really hasn't either. Like I don't think the future looks great. You got Kenneth Walker. That's a solid guy, but I mean he's had injury problems. So I mean, what are you going to do if he doesn't play 5, 6 games? So yeah, I think it's a better chance that the Chiefs don't win a playoff game compared to make the Super Bowl. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's a better chance that the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl again. I just think this dynasty's not just done yet. They just signed Kenneth Walker, which should expose their run game, which they really haven't had throughout the years they've been going to the Super Bowl. And there is a lot of questions. Mahomes coming off that injury, Kelsey, it's looking like I mean he's in his last probably year or two. You lose McDuffie, but I just think like this last past season was really an eye opener for the Chiefs team, and I don't think they want to be on the outside looking in this year, even in a hard division. I think it's more likely that they get back to the Super Bowl, back to their winning ways this upcoming season.
All righty, that's it for better chance. What do you think? Is there any thoughts you have before we get out of here, Philly?
No, it'd be it on my end.
All righty, I have one final thought, but it's really more of a statement. Fred will never get his hair cut by a white guy ever again. I had this discussion. I got a new job, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we got a barber." Looked at him, saw a white guy, said, "No chance." Went into that same office a day after I got my hair cut. They looked at my lineup and they said, "Oh, that lineup's fresh as hell." I said, "Yeah, I know. I don't let white people touch my hair no more." I went one time. I went to high school. They all said I look fly. Never again. Never ever am I letting the white guy touch my hair. And they made me laugh. They were like, "Oh yeah, we got a barber." I looked at him and said, "Nope." Why? You know why. Ain't no reason to say. You know why. And
Once you go
Philly can
back, go back.
nope, especially when it comes to hair. And possibly ladies. I don't know how that'll go, but I mean definitely with the hair. Yeah, that's my thoughts for today in the show. We will see y'all next time.